6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Barbara B. Rocca.
You are now tuned in to Butter B. Rocca on Transparency Talks Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, Butter B. Rocca. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. I'm super excited about this beautiful goddess. Before I bring her on, I do want to thank you guys so much for downloading my song, streaming it and everything. We are number 46 on the charts. Ed Sheeran is at number 24. Sam Smith is at number 30. Your girl Butter B is at number 46. We went from number 55 to 46 on the charts. Justin Bieber's at 105. Taylor Swift is at 117. So y'all know I'm feeling really good right about now. Also, thank you to everyone who came out to my premiere of Finding the Perfect Guide. Yesterday, I had the amazing opportunity of doing my very first screening. Shout out to Delapo Screening Room. It was amazing. Had great feedback and everything. So anyway, without further ado, I would love to bring and introduce to you guys. She is an actress and an entrepreneur. Can you please show some love to Miss Christine Horn?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm amazing. First of all, I love your intro. I'm over here jamming to the intro.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm like, the vibe is right here. Thank you for
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I created my own beat. You know, you gotta do your thing.
Yes, well, you did that.
Thank you. I like to dive right on in. Can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I am Christine Horn, known as the Booking Magnet. I'm an actress, author, singer, entrepreneur. I'm from the Bronx, but Atlanta is home. And, you know, I have been acting for over 25 plus years, film, television, Broadway. And I also love to lift as I climb. So I'm also an acting coach and a career coach for actors who want to do what I do.
Okay. Well, that's definitely it in a nutshell. You started off, if I'm understanding correctly, in theater.
Yes.
Okay.
I always loved theater. When I moved to Atlanta, I went to Tri-Cities High School, one of the best performing arts high schools here in Atlanta, and met my mentor, Freddie Hendricks. And from there, he had a youth theater company called the Freddie Hendricks Youth Ensemble of Atlanta. And that's where I started to hone my skills and fell in love with the theater. Started performing professionally around the city when I was around 16. And so theater is where I got my roots and my start. I think it's a great place for actors to begin. And there's nothing like the lights and feeling the energy of the audience, and you get no take two. Like, you got to be in it, right? Or you flop. So yeah, theater holds a very special place in my heart for sure.
It's funny that you just mentioned about how it holds a special place and everything. I had Mike Merrill, who I had him in my play, and
wow.
it was his first play that he did. He was my leading guy, and of course, I was leading lady. But I had him in my play, and I saw pictures of y'all, and I was like, "This is so cool."
Such a small, beautiful world, and he's so charismatic, and that was a nice journey on BMF for sure. Nice to
absolutely. Now, you are bi-coastal, right? So you live in LA and Atlanta. Are you in Atlanta now?
I'm in Atlanta right now. Yes, in my house. It's a nice balance, just especially since COVID hit. Before COVID, as an actor, you had to be in LA. Like, auditions are last minute, in person, you're driving all over the place. But since that has changed the landscape, I'm like, I don't have to be here all the time. But I love both places. So I just got back from LA last night. So
oh wow.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing the bi-coastal thing, and it's working for me for right now. Yeah.
Okay. I live in Atlanta as well, so hopefully I'll be able to see you around
these ATL streets.
Yeah, these ATL streets. So how was it transitioning from Broadway to film and TV? And do you plan on ever going back to the stage, theater stage?
Great question. It was a challenge in the beginning because you feel like, hey, I'm an actor. I got it. I've been on Broadway. I can handle this. But it was very challenging. I wasn't booking immediately because, for theater, you're used to performing to a 1,200 seat house and everything you do is big and broad. And I would get in auditions and directors be like, tone it down, like you're doing too much, and so it was very frustrating. So I just had to really study and learn and coach with some great coaches to specialize in film and TV. So now that I've got it and understand that I'm not performing for 1,200 people, I'm performing for one person, for that lens, just for the lens. And when I mastered the lens, I mastered the camera, and that changed everything for me. And as far as returning to the theater, it's not the top of my list right now. I will always love it, but I don't miss the grind, doing, when I did Lion King for 5 years, 8 shows a week, you have one day off on Monday. Sometimes you're traveling on that day. It's a lot. It is a lot. Though I loved it. That's not, these days I enjoy my trailer. I enjoy residual income.
Amen.
I enjoy craft services coming to me.
Amen.
Right now.
I love it. So what's the story and meaning behind your point name, The Booking Magnet?
Oh, thank you for asking. Well, I am a student of the law of attraction, right? And if you study the law of attraction, you know that you can create and attract everything into your life. Money, people, experiences. So once I was like, well, I can attract bookings too. Can I? I'm like, hell yeah, I can. And I was like, I'm going to just speak life over myself. I'm a big believer in affirmations and mantras. And so I just started calling myself, before the bookings were here, by the way, I'm a booking magnet. I am a booking magnet. While I was working my 9 to 5, I'm a booking magnet, and speak it and so it shall be. And then I just grew into that name and grew into what I was speaking life over. So for me, that is what it means. It means I draw bookings, I draw opportunities to me, great people. And so now I've trained people to call me that. And then I also call people that in return. So it's this beautiful ripple effect of speaking life to one another.
Yeah. You know what? I knew that there was something about you that really drew me to you. I've been following you for a while on Instagram and everything. I'm into affirmations. I'm into crystals. I believe you have to speak life into yourself. And when I saw that you shaved your hair off, what was that feeling to be so liberated? Because it was beautiful to me.
Thank you. It was freeing. And it's so weird. I've cut my hair many times. I went natural right after high school, did the big chop, but let it grow back. I would cut it, let it grow back. But something about this time, it's been almost a year and a half. I've lost track of time. I was in the middle of shooting Snowfall, and I had the urge to do it. And I was like, no, my wig's not going to fit. I don't know if I'm going to do it. And then one day it just hit me. I just kept saying, I need to see myself. That's just the word that kept coming to me. I need to see myself. I work in wigs all the time, and I'm used to transforming. Hello, I have a wig on today. But I just shaved it, and I did not intend to stay bald. But every time, I swear, if my hair needs to be brushed, it got to go. I'm just still in that space right now. I've just never felt more beautiful, more sexy, more connected to myself. There's nothing I'm hiding behind. And I love hair. I have a whole room full of wigs, for sure.
Right.
Right now, at this space and stage in my life, people say, is this forever? I can't speak on forever. I can speak on right now. But it was a beautiful feeling. When I did it, I laughed, I cried, and I just felt like, thank you, God. I don't know what it is, but I'm just going to be obedient and just go with what is coming up in me. And if I want more hair to grow back, or I can buy some, it's no big deal.
Hey, I feel you. Going on stage all the time. We used to taking it on, taking it off, doing what we got to do to get the look that they need for that particular job. So absolutely. Yeah, it was very liberating seeing you do it.
Oh, wow.
And hearing you speak about it. I almost was like, you know what? I'm gonna shave my hair too. I almost did that. I thought about it. I really did. My kids, I have a mohawk. And my kids, every time I even go shorter on my sides, they be looking at me like, Mom. So
you're like, I got all this up here.
Right. You got all this, but you talk about my size. So I said, you know what? Maybe I'll just wait a little bit.
Yeah. No matter what, whether you got locks, whether you got, braids, shaved sides, I think it's about, how do you feel? Do you feel beautiful when you look in the mirror? Do you feel confident? Whatever that is, do that.
Yeah.
more of that, because people will love to tell you what you should do and what they like better on you. And that's great. You have your opinion. I appreciate that. But I'm gonna just operate with what's true to me in the moment.
Yeah, I love it. I'm telling you, I'm feeling your vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about your time on Snowfall as Black Diamond and the impact the show had on the culture.
Oh, well, first of all, I'm so grateful to be a part of John Singleton's legacy. I auditioned for Snowfall every season, like since it began. And
Oh, wow.
even on season 4, when my character Black Diamond got introduced, I had auditioned for several roles right before that. But God knew, like, the one I was supposed to have was Black Diamond. It was the juiciest one. I got to recur longer. So, I just think people resonate with the show just because it's because of its grit, because it's rooted in truth. The acting is so amazing. I think the cinematography is great. It's just one of those shows that I believe is a cult classic. People will be watching this show 25, 30 years from now and binging it. And it's just really, truly, the way my co-stars just commit to the characters and the story that we're telling. It's just really a dream come true.
How do you connect to your characters? Because I've seen you now in The Lincoln Lawyer, in BMF, and on Snowfall, right? All of them are totally different ranges.
Yes.
So how do you connect and embody the characters?
Oh, I love that question. So juicy. For me, the first thing I love to do when I'm creating a character is I'm moved by music. So I love to find theme songs or just a vibe. So, like, of course, for BMF and Snowfall, that we're talking 80s. So I just I'll go to YouTube and just let 80s music play, like just feel what that feels like. And then I like to connect some of my characters to animals. So, like, for Mabel in Snowfall, she's a snake, like the way she moves, the way she operates, and then she pounces. So that's fun for me, just finding how people walk and talk. And then I always like to delve within myself and see where do I connect with the character. So on the surface, it could look like, wow, Black Diamond's so different from Mabel. Yes, they are. But I know that Christine has a fierceness. Don't cross me, right? I'm
Okay.
like, I will light incense all day, but just watch yourself now. So that fierceness is within me, but there's also that sultry side that's within me too. So I like to also look at characters and see what people might assume is just on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
How can I sprinkle something in that's deeply layered? Why are they that way? What have they been through? What makes them that way? What is their history? What triggers them? And that's the fun part. That it's just like almost people say build a bear. It's like just building this character, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, I can tell you that you definitely surprised me from when I first saw BMF and your character and how it developed. So it was like, okay. I mean, you had me like, oh my God, So the second season of BMF concluded.
Yeah.
How was it playing Mabel?
It was awesome. Even with social media backlash, it's been a very interesting journey. Just the fans are vocal. They are very vocal, and they're going to tell you how they feel.
Yeah.
Even some of my closest friends be like, girl, I don't like that character at all. But what that means for me is that I did a good job.
Yeah.
And again, telling the truth. People always like to say representation matters. And I say it does, but that means it matters for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There are Mabels out there. So if I'm gonna represent a Mabel, I need to represent her right, and tell her story and add some layers to why she is the way she is. I believe, Mabel really just is in search of love. I think the love she needs most is self-love, and build some of her worthiness up so she's not doing some of the things that she's doing and making those choices. But what I loved about it is people were invested. As much as they were calling me messy Mabel and all kinds of stuff, I was like, y'all gonna miss Mabel when she's gone. Like, y'all gonna miss her though. Because you have nothing to talk about.
Right.
She made you mad. She was memorable. And so
she was definitely memorable.
I
tell you, when they did the moment at the table and she sat to talk to you about she thinks he's having, I was like, oh my God, whoever wrote this, wow. It was just amazing. I'm a writer as well. So just seeing that, I was like, this is insane. So, and y'all played that. So I loved it. I did think that she was going to, tap you. I did. I was like, you're not getting out of that house.
And that's what a lot of people wanted. And I shared on my Instagram, if people follow me on Instagram, I shared a behind the scenes from that episode with my stunt double, because I actually did have a stunt double that day, and there was a version of a script where there might have been something else that happened. We had a fake frying skillet on set, but at the last minute some things got changed, and so the producers, they did what they thought was best for the script and the story. But yes, I know everybody wanted that. But Nicole, working with Nicole Brianna White, oh, she's such a pro, and I've watched her for years on TV. And that was really our favorite moment all season. So, because we hang out outside of the show, and we both love that moment a lot.
Yeah, it was definitely portrayed very well. So, how was it like sharing screen time with Russell Hornsby?
It was same kind of thing with Nicole. I've been watching him for years, and interesting enough, they've both worked with each other for years in the theater growing up. So consummate professional, you know what I mean? Like fully committed to the craft, to the story, to the moments. And it was fun because most of my scenes were with him. So just diving into where this story was going and making sure everything was intentional. And I have to give a shout out to our intimacy coordinator, Zuri, who also, with our moments, like we would sit down with the script and like, okay, who would make the first move here and why? Okay, you're going to put your hand here. Why would you put your hand here? What does that mean? Like you break the script down to that kind of detail. And I think that's what people felt. They felt this energy, and it's because we dissected every piece of the script.
Yeah.
It's like it's an actor's dream when we get to dig in that way. It's just a lot of fun.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was your first time doing a nude scene?
Yes.
So how was that?
It was it was interesting. You know, it was interesting because it's very vulnerable, and more so for me, you know, I'm someone who, like many women out here, who have fibroid tumors. And so I was scheduled to have fibroid surgery later that year, but I hadn't had it yet. So I'm at a moment, like my first nude scene, and here I am, like I can't suck in more than I can. Like, so all the insecurities coming up and really having to sit, and Mabel would not be insecure right now. Mabel is confident. Mabel is happy in her body, honey. You know, people on the internet saying all kinds of stuff about my body. I had to just accept that, you know, in the moment. It's kind of like jumping into a pool, a really cold pool. Like you try to put your foot in, like, just go ahead and jump in, just dive in. Like once the cameras are there, we have a closed set, and even closed is still open. You know, there's still people and monitors. But, you know, at the end of the day, when I saw the footage back, I felt beautiful, and I felt confident, and I felt like it told the story, and nothing was done that didn't need to be done. I think we showed a real moment in life with people, but I'm not saying, you know, I would do it again in that way. I don't know. I think for me, every time I get a script and see that there might be nudity required, I always wonder, like, how does this tell the story? You know, is this gratuitous, or is this a part of a real moment that is happening between two people or many people? Who knows? But yeah, it was definitely interesting. I just had to get out of my head and just stop thinking about the people. I had to stop thinking about the millions of people who would see it and screenshot. I had to just get past it, because people online are ruthless. I mean, people will go out of their way to make comments, you know, my DMs or just under a post, and I chose to be an actor, and I chose to be in the limelight. So that just is part of the territory.
Now, how are you handling the backlash from some people? Because of course you're getting praises from people too. I would assume you're honing in on and focusing on the praises, but how are you handling the backlashes?
Yeah, you know, for me, I would take it day by day. Like, so if I was in the mood, like, let me see what they're saying. Let me check what y'all saying. Like, I would check. If I was like, I've seen too many, you know, comments on my breast, I'm done for the day. I'm on something else. And that's just how I've been handling it. I have a therapist also. So I'm a huge advocate for mental health and talking to somebody, just even as a human, but as an actor, we try on so many characters and have so many people in our heads sometimes. It's good to just release. So between therapy, meditation, and just not engaging on social media when I don't need to, like, I know if I see a picture or a meme of me, there's going to be comments. So don't even engage. Like go do something else. So I got plenty of other things. I'm running a business. I have all kinds of other things to do online than to go scour what trolls might be saying about me or my body.
Right. Okay. So can you tell me more about your virtual Hollywood Bound Actors Academy?
Yes, thank you for asking. Well, like again, I mentioned earlier, I love to lift as I climb and help other actors who want to do television. So I have a community called Hollywood Bound Actors. We have a podcast. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we have an Instagram, Facebook community. I just wanted to create something where other actors knew they weren't alone. This
Mhm.
industry can feel very isolating. It's a lot of work, a lot of rejection. And sometimes our families don't understand. They don't get it, you know. So to know that you have somewhere to go and be supported and lifted and educated is really important to me. So I have that community, and my specialty is helping actors book more TV. So I have a program that I even created called Book More TV. And I just, every single thing I know about TV, I threw it in that course. And I do live Q&As with them every month. So that's the way that I give back. You know, people say, "Why do you do that? You're busy. You can be doing anything else." I'm like, "Yeah, but at this point, it feels like an assignment." You know, I have that. I have my conference I put on once a year, Booking Magnet Live. Our next conference is this summer in Atlanta, July 21st and 22nd at the Marriott at Emory. And so I love to do it. I love to encourage and see people win.
That's amazing. So you just talked about one thing that I definitely want to bring up, rejection.
Mm,
Because you do get rejection in this industry.
yes.
How in some way I think rejection is a good thing because it makes you hone in. But you know, it's also, you know, hurtful or whatever. So how do you handle rejection, and why should you not hold on to the no's? Because you're gonna get so many no's in this industry.
Oh yeah, you got to get more no's than yeses.
Mhm.
But I always like to say you have to give yourself your yes every single day. Your yes, I'm gonna go again. Yes, I'm gonna keep pursuing this. Yes, I give myself my yes. That's why I'm a booking magnet. I'm a yeah, okay, you don't want me for that? No problem. Somebody does. There is a dream role for me out there. Um,
Mhm.
but it is part of it. Yeah, I think it makes us stronger. You do have to have tough skin in this industry. It is everyone is not cut out to do this. People may have a desire, but they may not have the desire for the business of the show because
Mm.
it is deep and it is not always the easiest path. So that's why people say you got to love it. You got to be here for, you got to have passion for it. If you're just here for the money and just for the red carpet only, you should do something else because
Yeah.
there's going to be many days where you're working for free and doing all these things. And just because you love the craft. So, you know, I always think of, you know, no's as not nows. Again, use Snowfall as an example. I auditioned for that show every season, even up to season 4, multiple times. And I remember thinking, like, I did have moments where I'm like, dang, man, what's going on? And it's easy to just fall into what's wrong with me. Why won't they choose
Mhm.
me? Meanwhile, they're watching you. And when I booked Black Diamond, I emailed the casting director and said, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. This role is so fun." And she said, her response to me was right role, right time.
Mm.
So it doesn't mean this is, I hope this is a word for someone. It doesn't mean people don't see you. There's so many other factors that come into play. You know, a casting director can love you, but the producer may want something different, or they may book their friend, or they may already have an offer out and are just auditioning for a backup just in case that deal doesn't go through. There's so many things. So once you understand that there's so much other business happening, all you can control and all you can focus on is your work. Am I bettering my best? Am I getting better than is this audition better than the last one I had last week?
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
you only focus, when you put your blinders on, like horses you see downtown, and you have tunnel vision and stay in your lane, don't look at what your friends doing, what they booking. No, here, right? You doing your music. You can't be like, what did I do? No, what am I doing? Is this track better than the last track I
Yeah.
made? Boom,
Right.
I'm getting better and better. And that's a mantra I say. I'm getting better every day. I'm getting better and better every day.
Mhm.
That's my advice to anybody, no matter what line of work you're in. Better your best and you'll be fine.
Yeah, some really great advice. When I was booking for my feature film, I had some friends that took it personal that they didn't fit that particular role.
Mhm.
And it turned into some craziness because I think they felt like because we were friends, I was just supposed to give them the role. But it wasn't meant for them at that particular time for that particular role. Not saying that you couldn't get into the film, you know, in a later segment or as a different character, but they let the rejection of me saying not for this role, not this time, you know, get the better of them. And I'm glad that you just really spoke about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's But all I can say is it's not. It gets to the point when you do it so long, like it gets to the point now. I will shoot things and forget that I shot them. Like I have a new movie coming out. I forgot I shot the movie. It's called Paradise, starring Charlie Day. It's his directorial debut. I'm in the trailer. They just released the trailer yesterday online. And I emailed my publicist like, oh shoot, I forgot I'm in this. Like this is the point. Like, so even with my auditions, I audition and then I forget it. I audition and I forget it. Because if you hold on and be like, God, what happened? Why didn't I book that thing? You'll drive yourself nuts.
Yeah.
Too much. You can have 5 auditions in a week. And if you hold on to each audition, it's gonna work you out because you want to show up fresh to the new thing.
Yeah.
You know?
So people see the glitz and glam, you know, in this industry. You're a singer, you're an author like me as well. You do theater. They see the glitz and glam. They don't understand that it takes sacrifice and struggle. Can you talk about and share any types of struggles you might have had getting out there as an actress?
Oh, I didn't have any struggle. Joking.
Not me.
Not me. Oh my goodness. You know, for me, I'm always very transparent about this, even in my book. Look, I have always, since high school, have worked 2, 3 jobs. Like for real. I never believed in being a broke actor. So I would have a day job to pay my mortgage and my bills, have my night job to put on my own, produce my own concerts, produce my own albums. Like I had this grind, very driven mentality. And, you know, there have been shows that I've booked and then I'm getting ready to shoot it and then I get fired or replaced. You know, there are opportunities that were so close, you know, being tight on money, having to borrow money to go to auditions. Like, you know, in my book, I've talked about filing bankruptcy, you know, and starting over, moving back to my mother's basement. Again, if you go to my Instagram, there's a video pinned to the top where I share my story. So I'm never too proud to say this is what I've been through. Like it is, my been through has made me who I am. So yes, it has been a roller coaster ride because I could have taken a route where, and people will say like, even my mother has worried at times, are you sure? Is this what you want to do? And friends and people seeing you, when they see you in the struggle moments, people be like, you sure? Maybe you should just, you know, get you a real job. Maybe you should just get you something with some benefits. And that's where the sacrifice comes in. You have the vision, and the vision was given to you for a reason. It's like putting on someone else's glasses. Oh, these glasses too strong. Yeah, because that's not your vision, boo. This is my vision.
Wow.
So only I'm supposed to see it, but because other people can't see it, it's hard for them to get it. And that's that sacrifice. That means, yeah, I'm going to stay up late after I've worked all day because I have this audition that's due in the morning. Now, how am I going to give all these hours to my day job and not give myself the time to audition for something that could change my life?
Right.
And that's the sacrifice. I'm sure for you going to the studio, doing these kind of things, we got responsibilities and all these things. But when you hold steadfast to that vision, it can, you know, relationships have been sacrificed, money, all the things, you know, people like, I can't deal with a woman who's, you know, you always gone. Okay, well, I'm on tour, boo. I don't know what to tell you. I'm living my dream.
Right.
You're not for me. So I could go on and on. It's not been an easy road, but everything has been worth it. Because everything I've been through has made me who I am and who I am becoming.
I literally just posted this yesterday, almost exactly what you just said. I mean, I went through so many struggles getting my first feature film out there, and people, you know, they either didn't believe in me, but I had to understand it's not their vision, and I had to stay the course. Then I stayed the course. It was some setbacks and everything. The project was technically supposed to be ready last year, but, you know, I dealt with some things on the back end of handling, you know, this business, because it's totally different from the music world, you know, jumping into TV and film and writing and directing and producing your first film, you know.
A lot of things, a lot of learning curves.
Yeah, it was a lot of learning curves. But to then do the premiere, it completely be sold out. So many people there giving me all these accolades and everything. Yes. I had to tell people, you know, it wasn't your vision, and you can't let somebody deter you from what God said to you. I feel like when you have those dreams, if you can see it in your mind, that's to me is like the blueprint from God to say, this is something that you can achieve. Now you got to do the work, you got to put in the action, but it's something that you can achieve, and everybody's not going to see it because it wasn't sent to them. So you just talked about that, and I literally just wrote that yesterday. So
We
I
love
told you, man, you got the synergy going on.
confirmation, and it just reminds me that you're not alone, and people do see you, and that's the thing too. You may have people. There may be people who are more vocal, who are talking about what they don't think you can do, but you have people rooting you on also, who may not just be as verbal, but there's love. You are loved, and you are encouraged, even sometimes without you knowing it.
Yeah, definitely. So tell me about your experience going to the Emmys for the first time last year.
Oh, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Again, I'm a student of manifestation, so I'm like, I'm gonna be here with a nominated show, something that I'm nominated for. But so let me do a little recon and see what it's like behind the scenes now. So I feel more prepared. So it's not such a big whirlwind when I have to go. But that was a nice Shirley Ralph one. It was really lovely just to dress up and just to see how it all worked behind the scenes, doing commercial breaks and
Right.
stuff. So it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to go back.
Okay. So you're a singer, you're an author, you're doing all these different things. You also produce and direct, if I'm not mistaken, and you write.
Yes.
So,
and I'm looking to do more writing. These days, I've been producing other people's short films and things like that. I want to get into doing some more of my own, when making some more time for me. But I also on the production and love producing. That's why I love producing my conference. I just love being on a big show. Like,
me too.
When I moved to LA, I would put on concerts at Apache Cafe and all these different places, just because I would just love to see it all come together.
Do you plan on revisiting singing?
I do. What I would like to manifest next is me doing a project that involves me singing, like a movie or a TV show that's musical based. I don't know. It's so funny. It's become a running joke with the producer, John Beal, who I work with a lot here in Atlanta. Every time I would say, okay, I'm ready to go to the studio. I'm gonna meet you. Let's go to the studio. I got some songs. I would book something. So that would always happen. I would book Lion King. They'd be like, can you come back for another year? He'd be like, let's just put a pin in it. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I have my keyboard here, my things. When the spirit hits, I write, just because it's my way to release my thoughts. When I was younger, I would write poems and short stories. So I still do make up songs all the time, but my commitment to actually laying out some tracks hasn't just been here yet. But again, I just moved also. So I've been in a bit of, and just got back from South Africa working on a TV show. So my body, I'm not totally settled, if you know what I mean. So who knows?
So speaking of South Africa, you did just get back. You filmed, it's called Classified? Classified.
Like a classified document, yeah.
Okay, can you share a little bit, or you got to keep it a secret until it comes out?
Yeah, well, it's a show we shot in Johannesburg, South Africa. And
I love Johannesburg.
It was my first time there, and it was an awesome experience to be there for those months. It's about a young girl named Ella, who lives in Oakland, and she gets in some trouble. She's kind of a revolutionary type. She gets in trouble and gets sent to go live with her dad and her stepmom, who happens to be me. I play a woman named Diane, who works for the U.S. Embassy. And turns out there's more to my career than meets the eye. So there's some spy stuff going on. There's some action. I think fans of shows like Blood and Water and some of the new stuff that's been coming out of South Africa, people will really enjoy. So it's going to be fun. I think it's more teenage based, I think, for that audience that will really like that. But it's gonna be fun. I haven't played this kind of role before, kind of housewife on the surface and secrets behind. So I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. It was very interesting working in another continent and seeing how they work and just the landscape. It was wonderful. There'd be days where we're shooting at a palatial estate, and another day where there's zebras feet from me, like for the scene. Yeah. What is my life right now? Thank you. More, please. Oh, yeah. Awesome. So I'm hearing it's going to come out in 2024 on Netflix Africa and Amazon Freevee here in the States. So I'm really excited about that.
That's really cool. So did you have to work with a dialect coach?
No, because my character is American. She's supposed to be. Right. Whereas Sule Remy, who plays my husband, is from the UK, and he had to have a dialect coach to sound American. So yeah, there are very native people. The beautiful thing about this show is we're going to get to see it through the lens of Ella, who's from Oakland, and so she's meeting these other young South Africans and people from Cape Town and all these places. So she's getting to learn and hear it. So the audience will get to take that experience and that journey with her, which is a lot of fun.
That sounds like that's going to be real fun. My first tour over in Africa was in Ethiopia. Then I went to Cape Town. Cape Town was completely different. And Johannesburg was completely different. So all of them was just like this amazing experience, but completely different.
Yeah, the vibe changes for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So you took a chance on yourself and uprooted and left from Atlanta, went to LA. How was that experience? Because my understanding is you went back to LA twice.
Well, yeah, the first time I was in LA, and that's the story I share in my book, Playing Small. It was in like 2011, and I just didn't know what I didn't know. And that was when I was fresh off Lion King. And it was a challenge being new in Hollywood, not knowing where to start, being confused was tough. And that's when I stayed there a few years, filed bankruptcy, moved back to Georgia, basically restarted my life. And then I came back in 2017 because by then I had a new stack of credits. I had been studying film and TV with top coaches here and really felt ready. And my resume was ready. LA is tricky because it's like you need TV credits to get TV. Like, wait, what did you say? Like, right, it's catch-22. So when I came back the second time, I was just more armed and informed and educated. And that's when my career just took off. And it was, I bet on me. I just sold everything from that at the house. What I couldn't sell, we gave to a local church, quit my day job. I mean, truly, like, I didn't have a ton of money. I had enough to like get there first and last month, bed and refrigerator and a couch from the Goodwill for $47. I'll never forget that. But I believed in myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's now or never. And I'm not going to live life with regrets. And it was the best thing I could have ever done.
That's amazing. Recently, I want to say within the last year or two, you booked I swear, you probably up to number like 60 or in your 50s.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the past few years, it's been about maybe 35 or so roles.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my total IMDb credits at the time of this is, I think, about 72.
Jeez.
Yes. I'm a booking magnet. What can I say?
You're a booking magnet.
Rose.
Right.
I'm just grateful to just to do what I love. I'm just at the end of the day, just grateful. Just grateful.
What advice can you give a new actor starting out?
Work on your mindset. And that's the thing you're not going to think you have to work on. It's not just about having a ring light and a backdrop to do your audition. It is about having the tenacity. So get in class. If you don't have the fundamentals of acting, get in a class, whether it's in person or online, and surround yourself with people who will encourage you, because proximity is power. And there's so many other factors in this industry that can wear on your confidence, your mental health. So just making sure you are surrounded by people who can encourage you. And that's why we have Hollywood bound actors, because if you have no one else, you can at least come to us. We will welcome you with open arms. And that's a free Facebook group, like in our free community, just to feel seen. I think that's really important.
I love it. So what's next for you, and how can people book you?
Well, for me, like I said, Fool's Paradise comes out May 12th. My conference, Booking Magnet Live, is July 21st and 22nd in Atlanta. So follow me on Instagram at actress Christine Horn, or TikTok if you want some tips. I give little quick tips on TikTok. I have a lot of fun over there. Same handle, actress Christine Horn. And again, for actors specifically, Hollywood bound actors, listen to the podcast, come to our Facebook group so you know that you have community. And beyond that, I don't know, but I am open and available to all the good things. So who knows what will come between now and the next time we connect.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank you so much for being a part of Transparency Talks podcast. I have been waiting to speak to you for a good minute now, so I appreciate your time. So with that, everybody, we are out of here and we will talk to you guys later.
Bye, everybody.